So thank you very welcome to our usual topic on every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. But you know what? Today we're a little bit late because my guest was caught in one traffic of those, how do they call them, protesters?
Is the climate
change. So we have people protesting. So my client was caught in that. So that's why we're a little bit late today, because I know there are people waiting for this program just to support our little girl, our African lady. I'm not going to say our Kenyan lady because you're an African. You're an African lady right now.
Woman. Yeah,
African woman. That's right. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Stand out, speak up, where we encourage and advise you, and let me just say, walk hand in hand together to walk with your shoulders up, head high, and you stand out and you don't fit in with the crowd. You stand out of the crowd. So thank you very much. Okay, so we're just going to take a little break. Guys, do not touch that button and we'll be back. See you.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about. How it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them. At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about. How it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, so welcome back to Stand Out and Speak Up. And thank you very much, my darling, for coming here today.
Thank you for having
now,
me.
Vanessa Njoki. Who is Vanessa Njoki? Tell us, who are you?
My name is Vanessa Njoki. I am 20, actually just turned 21 on
Really?
Kenyatta Day, yes. So
On Mashujaa Day?
Yes.
Wow, so you're also our hero now.
That's me.
Our hero.
Let me be everything.
You're our hero. October is Black History Month. So Black History Month, your birthday, Mashujaa Day.
That's it.
Woo, girl.
21 as well.
21 as well.
Big age.
No, you rock. Give me 5. That's good. All right, continue.
So I'm an aspiring pilot and currently studying towards my private pilot's license in Dundee. I was born in Kenya and currently living in London. And I've schooled here, although I still have a lot of memories, you know, from back home that I cherish. That's me, yeah.
Wow, how can you forget your memories back home?
I cannot.
If you forget, in Swahili we say, kosamila ni mtumwa. So that means there's no way you can forget your culture.
There really isn't. And you know what? A lot of people say to me, Vanessa, you've been here for this long. How do you still keep up with Swahili? And I'm like, when I'm outside of my mum's house, fine, I can be English, I can be British. But as soon as I'm back home, we eat the same food as back home. We speak Swahili. You know, it's nice to keep the culture going because I think that's how it dies. People come here and then they almost forget where they came from and celebrate the culture that they're now in, you know?
But do you think it's forget? I don't think they forget. I think they pretend. There's two things. They either pretend or they don't appreciate their culture. So they come and they see this new culture and they want to adapt this new culture and don't forget their culture. I don't think it's forgetting. I think it's ignorance. All the things. You cannot tell me you've forgotten your culture. You cannot forget your culture.
That's a very valid point. I think society has a big part to play as well. You know, I feel like a lot of, especially this generation now, many people might feel embarrassed to showcase who they really are and who they are at home. Because, you know, you're right, they don't forget, because as soon as they're 5 minutes away from home, their skirts get unrolled and gets back to normal length. You know, I've seen it all happen, honestly, and it's crazy. And it's like, girl or boy, like, why do this? Just be you outside, you know, for packed lunch. Don't go and get a sandwich just because you're classmate.
Eat your chapati because of like. Oh, what's that?
Honestly, what is that? Yeah, no. My mum was on. I mean, I'm so grateful. My mum was not that parent. If there was leftover rice and stew, that is my pack lunch. That's my pack lunch for the next day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, as for me, only like I can only speak for me and at least my brother. We've definitely kept our tradition, and I love it. That's something I cannot take away from me, and nobody can ever take that away from me.
And that's why this show is called Stand Out, Speak Up. And when I always tell, even today we were in Hertfordshire doing a workshop with the youths, and we spoke about stand out and don't fit in. Because if you stand out, because if you fit in, then you do everything they do, like you're saying, rolling skirts and everything, because you want to fit in the crowd. But fitting in the crowd is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous game.
It is.
That's where we teach them to stand out. So you and your brother, definitely you stood out. And that's why when you spoke to me in Swahili last time, I was like, oh, wow, okay, great.
Oh, yes, I know my risk. It's true as well. And actually, deep down, I think, when you truly behave like who you are and actually act like who you are, the good people in society will appreciate that. There's ones that might judge you for it, but they're, who cares about them?
Yes, exactly.
There's ones who are knowledgeable and actually like to appreciate different cultures that will really be like, oh my God, I really like this about you, and I actually want to be like this. And there's a lot of people that travel and actually migrate to different areas of the world just to pick up a new language, and then we're here trying to hide it. It doesn't make sense.
Come on, Vanessa. Speak up.
That's it. So as for me anyway, my mum has always told me, be true to who you are, because I think it's easier to be that way than it is to be a different way.
Yeah, because then you're carrying too much baggage.
Exactly. And then you have to remember, this is how I'm in this crowd, and then I should be like this in this crowd. No. If you're just who you are, you don't have to think about all of that necessary,
And thumbs up to mommy. Thumbs up to mommy wherever you are.
You did well, yeah.
Okay. So I know you've touched on how you grew up, but how was when you're growing up? How was home, community, school, friends? Because all these things make who you are.
Absolutely. So actually, I moved to the UK when I was 7 years old. So I'd still experienced quite, a bit of my childhood back home. I used to live in what we called Ushago.
Ocha.
Yeah, I used to live there. So I used to live in the village with my grandma.
Okay, let me tell people who don't understand Swahili. So Ocha or Ushago in Swahili, that means village.
Yes, that's right. So I used to live there with my grandma, all the domestic animals, the minimal water, so you can't play around. And I actually have memories of my grandma, I would play with the tank and she would just throw one bag at me. And these memories really made me who I am today. So anyway, that's why I was brought up until 3. Both my parents were working at that point, so my mum was a secretary, so she didn't have as much time, and she thought it was better off if I stayed with her mum, my grandma, and get that childhood, get that experience actually. It just built my character ultimately. And then after the age of 3, I then moved to the city, Nairobi, and that's where I schooled.
City girl.
That's it. So I schooled. I actually lived in a place called Githurai 45. There used to be that building that got knocked over.
Githurai.
Exactly. That was my hometown.
Githurai near Zimmerman.
Yes. Yeah. So that's where I grew up, and I went to a school called Pilots Academy. Now people actually ask me, "Oh, is that why you want to be a pilot?" And I'm like, no, there was no correlation. The school was just called Pilots Academy.
Coincidence.
So, it's honestly coincidental, So anyway, I schooled there. I went to many school trips to, the international airport down the road, and it wasn't too far away. And then I think it was the age of 5, we relocated to somewhere else in Nairobi. And then I went to a school called Turtles Academy, and then that's when I kind of finished off my primary years. During those times, I did everything that I can relate to my mum when she says to me, every morning we used to go, make sure our shoes are polished, sing the national anthem. I did all of that. So when people say to me, Vanessa, you've lived, you're a British girl, I'm like, don't know me. You don't know. These are the hidden, it's not so much hidden secrets, but you never get a chance to really appreciate it. Like, since I came to this country, I don't think I've told this story how I am. And actually, I want to, tell everybody that it's okay to talk about your background and really appreciate where you have come from,
Because that's what makes you, to be honest.
Exactly, that's it. I 100% would not be who I am today if it wasn't for for my grandma throwing things at me, telling me we don't have enough water, or, sharing certain amount, an amount of food with like 8 of my cousins. All this stuff, but I really appreciate now because I live a totally different life. But I always remember that, because the truth is people are still living like that.
Exactly.
People are still this is people's norms, and it's something that we need to speak about, and perhaps improve.
Hey, great. Now, I was looking at all your achievements, and I'm thinking, Miss Africa Great Britain.
That's it, yeah.
It shouldn't be. It should be Miss World. Come on. When I looked at how old you were, I think you were 20 years old when you met all these big, prominent people. I'm not going to talk about them because you're going to talk about them. And I was looking at you and I was looking at everything you've done, and I was reading and I was like, what? She met who? And who? And who? And where? And she was only 20 years old. Damn. You've done so much. So for me, this title, Miss Africa Great Britain, shouldn't even be yours. It should be Miss World, because you've done a lot. And you also went to Ghana. But before you tell us about Ghana, right, let's go back to all these prominent people that you've met. Who was your favorite? What was the favorite subject when you met them? So just tell us.
Okay, so yeah, that's true. I have actually met a total of 9 people from the royal family.
So it's true.
Yes, that's right. And growing up anyway, I had one of my uncles worked for the Kenyan embassy, and he exposed me to a different light, So I remember the one time the Kenyan president came to this country, and me and my cousin were the ones that were selected to give him flowers. So we, I'm not sure if my primary school should know this, but we missed a day of school and went to. You didn't say that. They didn't hear that. We went to one of these hotels in Central. This is when I was actually 7 or 8. I'd just come to this country. And I got exposed to this, this world. And I said to myself, why can I not make this my normality? Why can I not be with people like this? Why is it that I only had to be bought this dress just for this occasion? Why can this dress not be my, my everyday dress? Yeah.
Exactly.
My Sunday best. And, a lot of this actually I got from my mom, because my mom, especially on a Sunday, regardless of whether she's going to church or not, or she's staying at home the whole day, she's going to pick up her best outfit, and that's what she'll cook with.
Yes.
And I really admired it. So I just couldn't wait to get to an age where I could almost mimic that as well. So anyway, I went to go give flowers to the president of Kenya. We had lunch at a beautiful hotel, and my cousin and I, in a beautiful dress, and I just felt so special. So that was like the first time I had, met somebody of status, let's put it that way. Also not forgetting that my dad's house, also back home, well actually my grandparents' house, is opposite the president's house. But I never got to meet him. I just was always told,
I'm going to be your best friend for today. I'm going to be your best friend.
Yeah, so I was just always told, oh yeah, the president lives opposite. And I could see the gates and the flags and whatever, but I never got to meet him. So I thought, well, this means nothing to me. So all I'm seeing is a gate with large
flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
And flags.
Okay. Exactly. So anyway, when I met the president here, that was the first time. I've always wanted to be a pilot, and I've really tried my best to try and pursue that in any way I can. That's one thing I really do try. So I joined the Air Cadets. I actually joined the Air Cadets because my school rejected me to do a Bronze Duke of Edinburgh. I really wanted to do my Bronze Duke of Edinburgh because I was told how amazing it looks on your CV, and how rewarding it is. And the school, my secondary school, were doing an application process for it. So I applied for it and I just didn't get in. It's just one of those things, right? But like I like to say to everybody, don't give up. Always try and find another way. So I did exactly that. I went home that day very, very upset.
Of course. I can imagine.
I said to Mom, okay, Mom, they didn't choose me. You know, they didn't choose me. I don't know what to do. And I said, okay, well, you need to find another way to do it, right? So I went online and I searched, okay, how else can I do my Duke of Edinburgh? And the first link that came up was actually the Air Cadets. And shout out the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, because they really changed my life.
Yes.
They changed my life.
We shout out for them.
Exactly, that's it. So the Royal Air Force Air Cadets opened these doors to where I met other people, you know. So the first time I met Prince Philip, it was at St. James's Palace at an early reception. So it's an annual reception that happens every year, and we go and we help out.
Is this for the whole cadets?
No.
Okay.
So I think, as far as I'm aware, it's 2 units that do it, and yeah, so it's my unit and another unit I think is in Chelsea. So it's just a few cadets that get chosen to be guard of honor. So when he walks down, we've built that, you know, that guard of honor for him. So that's where I first met him, and then I've met Princess Anne, Princess Beatrice, and a few others as well. Just other events that I've done with the Air Cadets as well. And then there was one time where I actually wasn't going to collect my award, but I was going to help other people collect their award at Buckingham Palace. And there I met Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and there were some others, but they're the ones that really, you know, came close. I've also met Prince Charles as well at Buckingham Palace, as well as Camilla.
Guys, this is true, because I actually saw the pictures, so she's not lying.
Yes, so I've met them, and this is all through the Air Cadets. These are all opportunities that were given to me. I'm not special, you know. I'm just a
You are special. Don't ever say that.
I'm a small town girl.
You are special.
Yes.
You are special. You're unique. You're a conqueror. You're everything.
We try. You have to try, you know.
You don't try. You do it. There's no trying. You do it. And you've done it. And don't feel. It's so funny because you're saying that, because I was driving here today.
Yeah.
And because I came from Hertfordshire, I'll say that again. And I was just saying that sometimes we feel guilty as humans to talk about our achievements, because you're thinking, oh my God, I don't want to say it because so-and-so might feel bad. It is your achievement. And if you're scared talking about them, then you're not giving God the glory. Those are things that are called testimonies. That's why the Bible says we have to give testimonies. And testimony, that is part of the testimony. So don't say it and say you're not special. You are special. Yeah. Very special.
I'm very privileged, I must say. You know, these are all experiences that not everybody gets to experience, even those that join the cadets. And it's been a different experience. It's nice to be in a different environment and see, okay, this is how this social group does that. You know, because the social group that was in Buckingham Palace is not the same social group I'm used to. However, it was a learning journey for me. The mannerisms are different, the way people act is different, the way you dress is different, you know. So it was very, very nice for me to witness. And also, for many, many years, I'd actually gone as either a guard of honor or helping for the events. But actually, I said to myself that I need to be there for my own sake, you know, for my own. So I completed all 3 levels of the Duke of Edinburgh. For those that don't know, it's orienteering, you know, and there's an element of it for volunteering, depending on which level you're doing. You have to volunteer for 3 or 6 months. I think for you can choose to also volunteer for a year. I'm not sure anyway, but I know that there's definitely a volunteering aspect in it. And when I completed my Gold Duke of Edinburgh, I was obviously invited to St. James's Palace. Usually it happens at Buckingham Palace, but the year that I got invited, it was at St. James's Palace. And I went along with my mom, and she could not believe it.
I'm sure the woman was stressed out and everything.
She couldn't believe.
She didn't sleep. She didn't sleep
of course she didn't. Oh my goodness! Like
I wouldn't sleep.
She was so excited, and you know, she really felt a part of it, you know, and how I wish more people would get into this, you know, because I didn't go in as an invite. I had completed something and got an invitation because I had completed it. So I don't want people to feel as if, oh yeah, you know, Vanessa just gets invitations to. No. I genuinely work hard to achieve, you know, qualifications or awards that, you know, that high allow me to be, for them to present it to me in such environments, in such prestigious
So it's not just being
places.
handed to you in a silver platter because your uncle's up there and then you say, oh yeah, just because your uncle's there, your mom is this and da. You actually work hard.
I genuinely did, yes. I did my 5 days of whatever it was, working 22 kilometers a day in the rain. I did my, you know, my Gold Duke of Edinburgh in Dartmoor. It was a hard experience. That was character building, but it was good. So once I'd finished that, I went to go collect my certificate at St. James's Palace, and it was an amazing experience.
Thank you so much. I have people saying congratulations, Vanessa,
Thank
go
you.
girl, all the best, and people are just saying, go girl, go and
Thank you. Go guys and girls as well, honestly as well.
So now tell us about Ghana. I know you've been to Ghana as well.
So I went to Ghana in 2017 and I went with African Adventures. They're a lovely organization that sort of, you know, they create these packages for people that want to do charity and volunteering. And one of the countries is some of the countries are Ghana, Kenya. I think they do some in Zimbabwe. I might be wrong, but definitely I know Kenya, obviously, and Ghana. Because I was actually going with the school, it was already chosen for me.
Yeah,
the place was chosen.
yeah.
So it was Ghana. It wasn't a school trip, it was an extracurricular trip that you kind of pay. Yeah. So I actually set myself a target. I got a part-time job and said, okay, well, mum is definitely not going to pay my £2,500 just like that. I need to find this money. So I got my first job at Matalan.
Wow.
And I worked endlessly. I was doing 6 to 10 on weekdays.
Wow.
So I'd come home after school, eat, study a little bit, and then, you know, shoot off to go to work. Thank God it wasn't too far away, so it was okay. And raised my money, and I was like, yes, I'm going to Ghana. So I went to Ghana. I was there for about just under 2 weeks anyway. I think it was 11 days or something. And I went specifically to Accra and then the Volta region, where I did endless amounts of charity work. So our main project was building a school and teaching, as well as donating goods and, you know, anything that would help the less fortunate kids and adults actually in that region. So I took with me 2 suitcases. One was for myself and the other was just full of donations and anything that anybody had given me, and I'd kind of scrambled to give to them. And I think even left the suitcase there as well. And it was such an amazing project. Like, as in, I came back home and felt so clean, so pure. I felt like I needed to do this at that time, you know. I felt so contented. Not contented in the fact that I never want to do charity ever again, but I felt like, okay, this charity work I did was not giving money. And I'm not saying giving money is bad to charity, but what I'm saying, sometimes it's more powerful actually going there and making the difference. So the fact that I went there and actually did we laid the bricks for this school, you know, we did the manual stuff towards a charity. I taught and I really, really thoroughly enjoyed that. The kids were so grateful. They were so happy. I spoke to them, taught them a bit of English, told them, you know, and it was funny because I went with my school, and my school was it's in between an affluent area and a less affluent area. So you kind of have the best of both in terms of people that go there, in terms of their social class and stuff. Yeah, so I wasn't the only black person. So, and you know, there were also white people as well that went to the school trip. But when they saw black people that from abroad, that's what they kept. Oh my God, you guys are from abroad. Oh. It really resonated with them. And I said to them, you guys just work hard, you know, dream big. You never know where you'll be. And actually, I'm still in contact with some of them.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm still in contact with some of them, and I'm still in contact with some of the teachers as well. I think one of them actually found a way to come to the UK, to Britain. And I said, don't be your own worst enemy, or whatever the saying is, you know?
Exactly.
Don't shoot yourself in the foot, because only you can believe you can do something.
Only you can make it happen.
Exactly.
Only you can stop yourself.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at yourself in the mirror, the only person who can stop you from going to your next destination is that person in the mirror.
Exactly.
So if that person looks like you, then it's you.
Exactly. Don't be your own limitation.
Yes.
That's it. You know.
So all these things that you're doing, you're actually a philanthropist. So how do you now? How does you being a philanthropist and you being a pilot? How does those two connect or relate?
So there's only 5% of women in the aviation industry, and then even an even lower percentage of people that come from, you know, black and ethnic minority. So I kind of use that to showcase my career plan, to show people that anything is possible if you work hard. And I really, really want to, you know, emphasize on if you work hard, because nothing gets served on the plate. Yeah, nothing comes for free. And you have to put in the work. At the end of the day, I feel like in this world that we live in now, it's a huge competition. You almost have to prove to yourself, you know, why do you deserve it, and all of that type of stuff. So I use my flying career, my Royal Air Force Air Cadets career as well, to really showcase that it's possible regardless of whatever background you come from, okay? And actually one door opens to another. So even if you dream big, and you know, you might sit down and think, oh, is this really achievable? And it's like, well, just take one step at a time, because what that will do is open doors for you, you know? And
remember, the only failure is the one that stays down.
Exactly.
And we all fall.
That's it.
So many times.
That's it.
Oh my God, so many times.
It's
like,
true.
oh God.
It's true.
So just come in. So what's your why?
Why for being a pilot? Why for...
No, what's your why in life? What's your why? What makes you push? What makes you work hard? What makes you say, I have to be there? What is your why?
My why is to make this world a better place, to be a great example, as to be as a best of a good example as I can be to the next generation. That is what I really, you know, seek for. And I just really hope that somebody out there, you know, who's younger than me, or even older than me, but particularly younger than me, will look at me and be like, okay, Vanessa's doing this, and I really admire this about her, and I'm going to make the next step to be like her. Because actually, I think... Or to be better than her. Yeah, because actually what we lack is good, you know, role models, you know. That's
funny, because I hope you're not looking at my book. Because actually my next question was, who is the person that you look up to and why?
I would have said my mom, but that's such a cliche, right?
It's not cliche. If it's your mom, it's your mom. Because there are some people who cannot even say it's their moms.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, it's very true. So, okay, I'll say two people for different reasons. So for my mom has gone through so many hardships, you know, some of which she still even struggles to highlight, and I know it, but she overcomes it, and she remains positive, and I've never met anyone so selfless in this life more than my mom.
Oh, mommy! You know? Mommy, can you adopt me, please?
I was actually watching your interview, and I said to my friend came back from Kenya not too long ago. Hi, Monica, I know she's watching this.
Let me see if Monica is here. She hasn't said anything yet, but she is here. A lot of people are saying congratulations. Very articulate lady. Well done. Yes. Congratulations, Vanessa. We are behind you. Yes, go on. Yeah, Vanessa, I'm wishing you all the best. Good.
Yeah, so, you know, so she's very selfless, and myself and Monica were watching your interview, and you were saying how you've been so selfless, and at one point your house had, I don't know, was it 8 people or 8, however many? 12 people in the house. You know, and I said to Monica, like, in my head I was thinking, is this mom talking? Because this is exactly my mom.
Oh,
you know,
bless her.
She will put anybody and everybody before her, and she says to me, what do you get from being selfish?
Exactly.
You know, what do you get? Because no matter how low you think someone is, or no matter how you know, advanced you might think you are in comparison to somebody else, there's always something to learn through that person. You know, it doesn't matter. And actually the funny thing is, this goes for kids as well. You know, adults think that, oh, you know, they're kids, and it's like, actually you can learn a lot from these kids.
They grow, you know.
Exactly.
You know what you just said? One day I was walking in Kibera.
Yeah.
And because we have a school in Kibera that we're trying to rebuild. And I was laughing. I was looking at children laughing. This guy asked me, why are you laughing? I say, I'm laughing because these children don't know their future. They don't know that tomorrow they're the next presidents, they're the next doctors, engineers, actors, big dancers, you know, they're pilots. Yeah, you know, tomorrow they're big. But look at them, they're just running with their dresses, torn dresses. They don't even know
so
who they are tomorrow.
Right?
So,
honestly,
yeah.
so stress-free.
So, yeah, so what you're saying, it's true.
But yeah.
So one is your mom, so who is the second person?
The other person, I think it will be Michelle Obama.
Wow.
I admire her so much, you know, just the way she carries herself. She's very down to earth for the you know, for the lady that she is. And she's married to obviously Barack Obama, who has changed history, or you know, made history even. Yeah, literally made history. She's so twice exactly. She's so down to earth. They also have, you know, Kenyan background. Had to slip that one in, right? But yeah, I listen to her podcast. Everything she says resonates with me. You know, there's some people where it's like you sort of imagine, okay, how is it that they got there? And I think she does break that down very, very, very clearly on her social media platforms, her books, her podcasts, her interviews. And that's what I really respect most about her transparency, most of all. Because I think there's loads of people that I admire, but there's some secrets behind how they got to the stage they're at. So actually, if I sit back and it's like, I admire you, but can I be like you? I don't know, because you've not told me the first steps, you know? But I feel like with her,
so she talks about the process, because a lot of people just talk about the finished product.
Exactly.
But she talks about the process.
She talks about the process. She is a huge advocate for education, you know, women, yeah. So everything that she sort of supports, I also support. And this is not because she supports it. It just so happens that we support similar things. So yeah, that's my second role model, essentially.
Okay, so why is it so important for you to win this contest?
Okay, I would be honored to hold the title of Miss Africa Great Britain and be the queen of the pageant, because I support its aims and values. There's so many pageants, you know, floating around, but I think this one is accessible to all. I mean, there's some amazing girls in the competition that come from all over Africa, and this pageant is welcoming to everybody. So that's one thing I really respect about the pageant. And I would love to be the queen for it, because I think it's it doesn't discriminate, you know, the pageant doesn't discriminate. Also because I would love to do charity, you know, with that title as well. I think I've seen the work they've done previously with previous queens and previous contestants, and I really, really would love to, you know, embark on that myself as the queen, hopefully. And
no, hopefully you will be.
Amen. Amen.
Our girl, we have to vote our girl. Especially these people just commenting here. Make sure you vote. Please, yes. Our girl is going in.
Exactly. So that's, you know, I would love to work with the pageant. That's my overall aim. Specifically in terms of doing charity with them. Yeah.
So what's your charity? What's the charity of your choice?
Yeah.
And why?
So the charity that I'm raising funds for is the Whitechapel Mission. The Whitechapel Mission has been around for even since before, you know, the 1900s. It's been around for so many years. And the Whitechapel Mission support homeless people, or people that are often just in temporary accommodation here, there and everywhere. It's based in London. And the reason why I really, really, really find this charity special is because they have been open throughout lockdown. So they've, I'm sure it's just volunteers that are actually working to keep it going. And they have done everything they can to keep it through lockdown. And as you can imagine, how difficult it would have been for some of these homeless people. I mean, a lot of us were complaining about not having tissues, all these, I don't want to say silly things, but there's bigger issues in this world.
Because you can use water if you don't have tissue, so they have to put that in there.
Yeah,
you can use water.
There's water, right?
Exactly. There's always an alternative. But you're still in the house, in a warm place.
You're still fed, you still have a shelter under your roof, you're safe, you have a neighbor, you're certain. There's people that, they don't have that. And actually they've never had that from the point they became homeless. And one thing also to put out there is not to stereotype homeless people.
Exactly.
You don't know what tomorrow has for you. You could have everything the night before you wake up, and that's it. So if it's your shelter, it could, you could lose your home, your health. These are all things we take for granted, And when as I'm raising funds for them, I was obviously doing my reading and stuff, and I really realized how a lot of people that find themselves in these situations never ever thought it would happen to them.
Yeah,
that's it. So anyway, this is why I am supporting this charity, and please could you all do a little bit to share whatever the amount, anything counts, anything. It will help somebody out there. But also this charity not only offers shelter for people that are homeless, they offer educational packages as well, so employability skills, so they provide that for the people that are there, and just general life skills, and I think this is something that many charities lack. They sort of help one area and then miss the other area. But if you can find a charity that kind of does everything, they obviously get a huge thumbs up. Okay. So that's why I really support the Whitechapel mission. Yeah.
Okay, Whitechapel mission, guys. And I'm happy you say that, stereotyping homeless people. And I'm going back to Street Boys as well in Kenya, because I know this program is globally, but 70% of people watching this are actually Kenyans. And when I go to Kenya, I talk a lot with the street children. If I have to, whatever I have to do for them, I do for them. But I know if you buy them food, you're just buying them food now. What about tomorrow? Do you understand? But stereotyping comes in when they ask you for money. Some people say, oh, wanaenda kununua gum, they're going to buy the glue. I'm sure you know what gum is. But I'll say it in English, it's for the benefit of people who don't know what gum is. Gum is glue, gum, like maybe drugs or something.
Alcohol.
Yeah, and they say, you cannot say that, because do you know how hard it is to sleep in the streets? And one day I was talking to one street boy, and I asked him, because he was hiding the glue there, and I said, oh, don't hide it, it's fine, I'm not going to judge you for smoking your glue. So I asked him, why do you do that? The story this guy gave me, I almost cried. I said, look at us. We look at them and we judge them because they ask you for money. Oh, I'll buy you food, I'm not giving you money because you're going to buy this. Do you know that boy told me he gets raped? He gets beaten. It's cold. The big ones come and take their clothes and their shoes and they go and sell it. So he takes those things so he can sleep the whole night so he won't feel it. Do you know how painful that is? Do you know how painful that is? And I was thinking, who can sleep outside like that?
Exactly.
Nobody.
I think people really forget that if these homeless people had a choice, they wouldn't be there.
They wouldn't be there.
They wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So let's please stop, judging them. Yes, there is a small percentage of people that are not legit, and there always will be in this world.
That's life, isn't it?
The majority of them are really, really struggling. And actually, I had a debate as well about this with my friend, and I said to them, would you rather somebody, do this or take their own life because they cannot find a solution to cope?
Exactly.
That is their coping mechanism. You just have to have faith that it will not be a forever thing.
Yes,
it's
that one day
just forgive
you come
them.
out of that black tunnel.
Yeah,
because
that's
at that
it.
time they're still in that black hole.
That's
but they
it.
will come out.
That's it, exactly.
Just because you're in the tunnel, you're in the light, or you're out of the hole, you cannot look down at someone and say you're rubbish.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, so that's good. So now what I want to ask you next, if you look at your country, Kenya,
Yes.
okay,
I
because
love
you are
it.
born in Kenya and I know you love it. What would you like to change in Kenya?
I would like education to be a lot more accessible. I'm a firm believer of education is the key to success. My mum has always told me that. I was talking again with my friend Monica. So, you know, I'm sure a lot of you know that in Kenya there's so many different tribes located in different areas of Kenya. So Monica is a Maasai, and she was telling me such a sad story. She was telling me that actually in her area where, you know, she was brought up and went to school, there's only one school and it's 20 kilometers away.
Whoa.
Can you imagine? And also that it doesn't stop there. The children that went to that school had to, you know, switch around. Obviously you can't have all, and you know, typically in those parts of the country, women tend to have more than even 3 kids. So you can imagine how many kids are rotating to go to this one school that's 20 kilometers away in the heat with probably no shoes. You know, it's a problem. It's a problem that needs to be fixed. So something that I would like to change
Education
is
system.
education system. The education system.
Okay, so in Kenya you really love to see education system. What about the UK?
Something that I would like in the UK is celebrating cultures. That is something that I want to see more of. Okay, because there is still a huge, you know, population of people that have migrated to this country that still don't feel a part of it. You know, a lot of us might have red passports and lived here for 50 years or whatever, but they still don't feel that sense of belonging. So, and it's probably because that, you know, that aspect lacks in society. You know, there is a few out there, for example, Carnival, you know, but again, we could probably do with a few more. Also, I would really love for things like Black History Month to really be put into the curriculum. I know it already is, before anybody fights me, but I would like it to
Trust
be...
me, it's not. I work in schools.
Yeah.
And all they do is call somebody to come and do drumming, to come and do dancing, and they
It's
tick
a bit
the box.
shallow, right?
It's so shallow.
It's kind of put in there just to be...
Tick the box.
To say that
We
it's...
did Black
Yeah,
History Month.
exactly.
Yeah.
No.
It's nothing.
But I
Trust
think
me.
it should really be embedded with the curriculum.
Yeah.
And everybody could do with that knowledge, not just Black people, Africans, no. Because if you don't, essentially you're ignorant, you know, you become ignorant, you don't understand why somebody's hair is like that, or, you know, why they've got an accent. There's still, racism still exists, even if it's subtle, it's still there, and it's something that needs to be
It's not
really,
subtle, darling, it's out there.
It's really, you know, the thing is though, the reason why I say subtle is because in comparison to, let's say, America, here it's there and it still really is there, but it's arguably maybe not as bad as, you know, the US.
Do you think? Because some people are saying that here is bad than US. Because US, they show it and you know it, but here...
And that's the subtleness.
Yes, they don't show it, but it's worse.
Exactly, of course,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think there's a level of racism. Any racism is bad.
It's bad.
You know, no matter how obvious or not obvious it is, it's bad. You know, people need to really be educated about it, and also feel comfortable enough to speak about it. Yeah.
So in Kenya is the education system, in the UK is culture. What about the whole world?
In the whole world, I think just charity. Somebody told me a ridiculous figure, and it's like, you know, the richest man or the richest whoever can actually stop poverty, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like
7 billion.
Can
is
you
what,
imagine?
like 7 billion. And how many people are in the earth?
7 billion, exactly.
They can give everybody one.
Starting with me, right?
You're starting with you,
Starting
darling.
with me, guys. I have my flying career that I need to fund for. Honestly, no, I'm joking though. But seriously, charity. That's it. That's one thing that I think would make the world a better place.
Okay.
That's it. Because all this violence, it all stems from, you know, people lacking things, and lack of resources creates friction and all of this stuff. But if we shared a little bit more and educated people, then, you know, I do believe the world will be a much more peaceful place.
Okay, so in Kenya, it's Kenya education system, in the UK it's culture, in the whole world is charity. Well done. So now, how much money are you looking to raise, and how much do you have right now?
So I am looking to raise £2,000. Why not? By tomorrow, guys.
Woo, by
tomorrow.
So guys, especially people watching, just have your phones, because at the end we're going to tell you how, and start raising that money for Vanessa. We have to see her up there. Please. And guys, this lady here, because I'm a mom, and I know she's like my daughter. Mommy, I'm not stealing your daughter from you. Don't worry. Don't worry. We want to see her Miss World, because even the questions I'm asking her, she didn't know any of these questions. You're not looking at you.
Oh no, I can't.
And look at her answers. Oh my God, did you just say what she's saying? She cannot read my handwriting. So they're like doctored. Yeah. So she's very smart, and she's very articulate, like somebody actually really said. So for me, I don't want to see you just in this level. I want to see you as Miss World.
Amen.
To change That's why I said, even Kenya, what do you want to change? What do you want to change in the UK? I do want to change the whole world. And I know that you're actually capable of doing that. But she cannot do it by herself. She cannot do all these things by herself. So she needs us to vote for her as well, and also to contribute money as well. So it's not just voting, it's money as well. So if you can do both, we appreciate. If you can do one, also we appreciate. Okay? So thank you very much. So now your aim is £2,000.
Yes.
And how much do you have so far?
Currently, I'm sitting on £1,270.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
In just a matter of 22 days actually, since I set up the page.
Wow.
So yeah, and I would not have achieved this by myself, you know. So thank you so much to those of you who have donated, shared the post to the page. Every little helps, and I'm sure that the Whitechapel will be so grateful for this. And you know, this is a huge amount of money that will go towards somebody who's desperate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's only like how much left? Like 780 something?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it 780? Because you're smarter than me. So
yes,
how much is left?
780.
Okay, good. Yeah. She's young as well. So 780, guys. So we can do this 780.
That's
all
it.
Right? And we get there.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have something to give you as well as Wild Remit. Okay, so Wild Remit, we're going to sponsor you. Not we. Wild Remit is going to sponsor you. Okay, so we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that 780. Now, why should the viewers, your aunties, your uncles, your friends, your family, why should we vote for you? Why should we vote for Vanessa and not Angela or not somebody else? Why Vanessa? Why should we vote for you?
I believe you should vote for me because I am exactly who I say I am. I can reassure everybody on that. I know they've actually got rid of the free vote, so now you have to pay to vote. And how
much?
It's £1. There's different selections, but I know it's like £40 for 300 votes, £1 for 5 votes, etc. It's all on the link. It's all there, very clear for everybody. I will be your money's worth. I promise you that. Anything that I've written on my profile, I will try my best to fulfill.
You're not going to try your best, you're going to do it.
I will do it, yes, that's it, exactly. I will do it. And I will also come back to my people. I really do believe in knowing where you come from and, you know, who's helped you get to where you are. So it's not like you're going to help me and I'm going to disappear. That's something that tends to happen a lot nowadays. You're
not a politician, you know those Kenyan politicians, they take the microphone, not just Kenya, African politicians. Yeah. They take the microphone and they promise the whole world.
Exactly.
And then once we put them in there, because we are the...
That's it,
they're out. We don't tell them, Excuse me, do you remember me? Who are you?
That's
we don't
it.
know you.
Exactly.
You're not gonna do that.
I'm not gonna do that.
Promise?
I promise. That one, it's somewhere recorded now. So
it is not somewhere. It is recorded.
It's recorded
and people are
here.
listening. Did you hear, guys? She said she'll make us proud. She's going to come back. She's going to do exactly what she said in her profile. So guys, go and read her profile and take the highlighter. You know the highlighter, right? Highlight every point that she said, whatever she said she's going to do. And then you see, because, you know, we were promised one day laptops. We never saw it. We've been promised so many
a lot of things that you don't see, you know.
We never saw.
It's true,
So,
you know. Me too as well. I relate, you know.
we were promised stadiums, that this stadium is going to be done. This is going to be, we've never seen anything. So we are going to see what you just said.
Promise I will do it. I will do it, and I will do even more, because I have plans. I do have plans, even above Miss Africa Great Britain. And I'm looking to work with anybody that has, you know, similar thoughts as me to make a difference, specifically in Africa. I don't want to just, you know, cancel out every other country, but I would like to do some work in Kenya, considering I haven't done anything in my home country.
Charity, did you not tell me that when you spoke?
Charities
Charity begins at home.
That's it, yeah.
So you have to start with your country first. And I
Exactly.
don't think anybody will take you up for that and say, but why are you just supporting Kenya? Because that is home first.
Exactly.
So when you finish with home, then now you can take the
expand.
project
Yeah,
somewhere else.
that's it,
But
yeah.
charity begins at home.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's like they call you at the palace, Buckingham Palace. You think you're going to call one auntie? You have to go with your mom, because charity begins at home.
Charity begins
Take
at home.
mom first. Okay.
It's
So,
true.
who are your sponsors?
So
And say a word to your sponsors as well.
amazing. Okay, so my sponsors are World Remit.
Yeah,
World Remit, yeah.
It's-
And you know, I'd like to say thank you so much for even allowing all of this to happen, and the additional charity money that you're going to put towards a great cause, and also for me. In my competition, I really, really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Wild Remit is a platform that I use as well. Actually, I use, yeah. My mum also uses it.
Oh,
you
mommy,
know.
thumbs up.
Yeah, she's the one that told me. I think we're upgrading from M-Pesa, or does it go connect to the? Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I know all about it.
Yeah. That's good. Actually, talking about Wild Remit as your sponsor,
Yeah.
Guys, whoever is watching this today, if you don't have Wild Remit, actually just go and download the app. Because what I always say is Wild Remit supports a lot of black businesses, small black businesses. And also, they also support a lot of youths out there. Today, I was in Hertfordshire. Every time the children on break, they always support the Hertfordshire children.
Amazing.
So that they can, for 3 days. For 3 days. So they always support children. They also support Omega Life, this Omega Life TV.
Yeah.
Also, Wild Remit supports us. Look at this.
It's
Look
beautiful.
how beautiful
This place
is.
is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I thought, yeah, honestly.
You need to come so we can have live guests. And all is Wild Remit. And I always say, one thing I say about Wild Remit, I know sometimes when I talk to people, they say, oh, sometimes their rate is high. But you know, their rate is high because every money that you spend, a percentage of it goes to support black businesses. That's one. Two, and I'm sure you didn't know this, but I'm going to say it. Wild Remit belongs to a black person.
Oh, wow.
Did you know this?
No.
He's from Somaliland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like Gatwick Airport as well is an African person who owns it from Nigeria. So when we say all this big stuff, people always say, really?
Yeah.
An African person? So I always say support black business.
That's it, exactly.
Because you see people running in the streets, Black Lives Matters, but yet they will never support any black business. You know, so if they're looking at apps to send money, they look at the cheapest. Oh, this rate is too good. Support your black business.
That's
because
it.
as you send money with Wild Remit, the percentage of that, they sponsor small black businesses. So you see, they sponsored her.
That's it.
And I'm happy. When I saw you, I was like, I was just writing that proposal. I'm like, they have to support this girl. And look, they supported you.
And you know, I'm so grateful, and honestly, it's such a quick, efficient way of sending money back home. So never mind that little change that you think you're going to lose. It's not getting lost anywhere.
It's not getting lost.
It's going to a good cause.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, honestly, I really, really, really appreciate having World Remit as my sponsor for such an amazing pageant, you know, and a great cause.
And Omega TV as well.
So Omega Live TV as well. So for even allowing us to, you know, do this. This is great. Yeah. This is my first ever interview. Wow. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And this is the first and the more beginning coming.
Exactly. We hope. Yeah, exactly. That's it. And I'm so honored to be here. It's such an amazing. I don't know where to look.
Omega TV.
Yeah, and also allowing me to share my story on one huge platform. You know, when I actually sent the link to my aunties and cousins, they had heard about it and they'd followed on it. Some interviews and some of the stuff that Omega Live shows. So it's a good. Thank you so much for the platform anyway. So thank you.
Thank you.
And then we have Precise Projects, right?
Precise Protect.
Yeah, Precise Protect.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
The insurance company.
Yes,
right?
that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So they not only help people with their lives and stuff. They're also sponsoring me, and actually I get to have 4 people that are coming to support.
You've got a lot of sponsors. You know why? Because we believe and appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we value you as well. So you have to make us proud.
Of course I will.
Don't let us down.
There is no option.
Don't let us down.
There's no option
Don't
with
let
that.
us down.
There's no option.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No,
so
thank you.
Now I want to ask you, I want you to advise the parents out there. Talk to the parents.
Okay.
Because you are so smart. You can actually talk to the parents out there. Just give them advice.
Okay, so the first advice I would give parents is let your children be exposed. Okay, let go of that fear, let go of that fright. Just let them learn the hard way sometimes, and expose them to all different, expose them to every environment, obviously the good ones. Because all of this will build their character essentially. Okay. Also consider the Royal Air Force Air Cadets. They essentially changed my life, literally. Consider them. They're a military youth club. I know there's connotations of the military. It's not propaganda or anything like that. Your kids don't have to join the army. No, it's nothing like that. It's just getting them out there to meet different people, experience different things, and learn differently. Because as much as you think your children are learning the most at school, the truth is they're probably not. They're going to learn more, once they've left school. So yeah, my number one advice to parents is just let go of the fear, have trust in your children. Of course, guide them, but essentially expose them to the different opportunities that are out there in this world, because there are so many. I remember my friends used to say to me, "Oh my God, like Vanessa, you're doing this so prematurely," and it's like, well, I have nothing to lose. If my mom has a bank appointment, why can't I not go with her? Because although I'm not going to sign anything, I'm listening. After all, it's just me and her. I have no other option but to sit and listen, because my mom is definitely not going to give me my phone to be doing games whilst no, she wants me to listen to these conversations. The same as when I started driving quite early, and everyone's like, oh, you just concentrate on your A levels, and it's like, well, okay, but my 2 hours, so if I sacrifice 2 hours a week, am I going to lose anything? No. Now, some of my friends, I'm so sorry for you guys, some of them are still on the waiting list to be doing their practical, and it's like, life is too short. If you get the chance, do it, just do it, and talk to people as well. But yeah, just expose your children to all the different clubs. Let them pick what it is that they want to do in life, but don't let them grow up and feel as if, oh, I wish my mum took me to swimming lessons, so maybe I would have been a swimmer. Take them. If they don't like it, at least that's not for them. But if you don't make that step, you're limiting their capacity, so that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, parents, now the youths. Talk to the youths.
Okay, so for them, be productive in anything that you do. Stay safe. Do not follow the crowd. That's something that is very easy to do nowadays.
Stand out, don't fit in.
Stand out, don't fit in.
That's the slogan.
That's it, yeah. Make yourself busy doing something productive. Get into charity, volunteering, anything. It might feel like a waste of time right now, because now money is such a, it's such a thing that it's like if you don't have enough of it, you're not this, or it's kind of like...
But do you ever have enough of it?
Exactly, that's the thing. But let me tell you one story. I started volunteering at Oxfam when I was about 14, right? And I joined up because for my Bronze Duke of Edinburgh, I needed to do a volunteering. So I chose to go to my local Oxfam shop, and I have never left since then. Since 2014, I've never left. Why? Because they wrote me such a beautiful, kind reference that I cannot leave. They opened these other doors for me, you know? So this little section of my life that I sacrificed to do that voluntary work has opened so many doors. Who knows if I would have got the next thing without that reference.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So don't... see the positive in everything. Be optimistic, and also be patient. Don't be too tough on yourself. Things don't happen overnight, but essentially just whatever you're doing, make sure it's beneficial and you stay productive. Talk to people if you need help as well, and essentially don't be too tough on yourself. And yeah, those are my 3 main advice to people. To the youth.
Okay, thank you very much. Now our last one, how do we vote for you? Now tell us, where do we go, how do we vote?
Okay, so the voting, I've actually made one link with all the links in it. It's on my Instagram, so for those of you that don't follow me, please follow me. My Instagram is Vanessa, so it's VENESA.NJOKI. So on my bio, you will see my link to all the other links. So that's for the charity, the voting, and also actually this interview. So that's where you'll find the links. Alternatively, you can, if you don't find the link or the link seems not to be working, I'm more than happy to be messaged, and I will guide people thereafter. Also, if you search on GoFundMe...
How do they message you?
On Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, Instagram is probably the best way to message me. And if you... What was I going to say now? If you go on GoFundMe on just Google and search Vanessa Njoki, the Whitechapel Mission, you will see my fundraising efforts. So you can fundraise through, that way as well. You'll know it's me because I have a video of myself in it, and you'll get to see all the pictures that I took in the beautiful Scotland. I actually climbed the mountains there as part of my fundraising efforts.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Thank you very much. All of you guys have heard how to vote for Vanessa, and you've had this beautiful, articulate young lady. She's only 21, by the way.
Just turned
21, actually. Thank you for that. Just turned 21. And that's why I love bringing the youths, and we talk about the youths because we talk about so much of negativity of what the youths are doing. But all the positive things about the youths, we don't really speak about them. So we should start doing that, bringing the youths that are doing good things. And then the other ones as well will look and say, oh my God, yeah, so there's somebody like this. And then they'll say, you know what, I don't want to be like Vanessa, but I want to be better than Vanessa, which is fine, because that's what that's what I like people doing. Like, I want to be better than her, not like her, because everybody has their own cup, and that you cannot drink from Vanessa's cup. So to vote for Vanessa is VENESA.NJOKI in Instagram. So it's Vanessa.Joki, right?
Yeah.
Or if you go to GoFundMe, you just go to GoFundMe. Again, her name's Vanessa Njoki, and then go to look up for Whitechapel Mission. You'll find her there. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Njoki, thank you so much, Vanessa, for coming. And thank you so much, viewers. Thank you, aunties and uncles of Vanessa, because there's a lot of people here who are watching saying, well done, Vanessa. You make us proud. Guys, 2 things. Vote for Vanessa, please. Let's make sure that this money gets to £2,000.
We can do it. I do believe we
And we
can
can do it. Of course we can do it. We are 1,270. We can do 2,000 to tomorrow. And also download Wild Remit app and use Wild Remit if you don't use it. Okay, so until then, thank you so much for tuning in. Stand out, speak up. I'll see you again next week on Wednesday, by God's grace, at 6:30 p.m. UK time and 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time. Until then, our slogan, we always say, it can only be God. So love you all.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about. How it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them. At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about. How it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.